I declare and decree in this season, I will submit to the voice of the Holy Spirit calling my name. I am walking in the fullness of His purpose and plan for me and my life. It is my...
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of She Emerged with me, your host, S.H.E. How are you all? I pray you all had an amazing holiday with your family. Enjoyed some of that great Thanksgiving food. Just loved on your family because I know I did. The holidays, as I've stated before, are a little bittersweet for me, but I'm so recharged having gotten to spend time with my family and love on them a little bit. And so I am ready for the next section of the holidays. My Christmas trees are up. I have 2 this year, and I'm just excited. My wallet is not as excited as my heart is, but it's gonna have to get on board. I just enjoy spending time with my family. I drive my children crazy with the matching pajamas and the Christmas pictures, but they love me, so they'll participate. My hubby has a long honey-do list. I want my lights up on my house this year. I normally don't do that. I have like the projector, but I'm going to put some lights up on the house this year and just make the house really festive. I feel like I need that. So I pray you all enjoyed your holiday and are getting ready to put up your Christmas trees and be excited. Honestly, my tree was up for Thanksgiving. I like it. I feel like it makes the house look festive. So my trees have been up. But if yours is not up, good luck with that, because that was a chore. So, I have an awesome topic we're going to talk about today, and probably for the next few episodes, because this one is a lot to unpack. So I'm excited to talk about the vision. I always say, launch the vision, sis. And I realize that telling somebody to launch the vision and not giving them the tools or help or my process for launching the vision doesn't help me, doesn't help you. I'm encouraging you to launch the vision, then let me help you do so. And I'm going to share my process with you today. So I'm excited about that. Congratulations to Barbados on the birth of the new Republic of Barbados. They have completed the final steps to separating themselves and becoming independent of the British monarchy after nearly 400 years. So I am super excited for them and happy, because anytime people can regain their freedom, so to speak, it's an awesome thing. So congratulations, Barbados. Shout out to you. We are keeping you in our prayers that all goes well and you continue to be blessed. So, is there anything else on my list? No. So let's get right into the vision. So I want to start off with, and you guys know I love my notes, so I have notes on both sides because I wanted this to really be effective. Grab a notebook, grab a pen. You may need to replay this, and that's fine. But there's going to really be some meat in here for you to help you launch the vision, sis. 2022 is upon us. We are in the final quarter of 2021. And, 2020 came in with a bang, a pandemic of a bang. And we have all managed to survive and live through it. One of the best things I saw come out of that was this, it seemed like the world was ignited for entrepreneurship, this fire of wanting to have their own, be their own. They're calling this the Great Resignation Era, because people are resigning. They're working from home. They're creating their own destinies. They are launching the vision. And I'm super excited for that. Why not? Why not create legacy and generational wealth and teach your children that they can do it? They can build. It takes time. Nothing is going to happen overnight. It takes work. You still have to, it takes hard work and dedication. But I'm excited that people are excited to be being their own boss. And I've seen a lot of young people, all these new small businesses popping up. Support them, by the way. I can't say this enough. The larger corporations can bounce back from such a time as this. Support these small businesses because some of them don't have the capital, but they deserve your support. There's some awesome products out there. We've seen a lot of people just start putting that pen to the paper and their hand to the plow and forging ahead and creating their own path and what makes them happy, because who wants to go to work every day in a place that you're not happy? And I think that is amazing, especially for the young folks. And also, we are getting away from the notion that you can only be successful with a college degree. The devil is a liar. You don't. Are they good to have? Absolutely. I don't knock it if that's what you want. And I've gone to school. Both my daughters chose to go to school, up to college, but it's not for everyone. College is not for everyone. And so I feel like we need to start encouraging our children to do what fits them and not what just fits society. There are 1,000,001 trades out there that make just as much money, if not more, than some with a college degree. I wish I had the fortitude, because I'd have my boiler certificate. I'd be that sweaty with my hair. I'm natural and it just wouldn't work for me. But they make great money. They can make an honest living. Electricians. There's so many trades out there that our children can walk into and form a career out of to live well. But that's not often encouraged. It's encouraged more, and it is painted to seem that you are more successful if you have a degree. And that's not always true, because college is not for everyone. There are some who don't even have degrees. Hear me again. They don't even have degrees and they are successful. We're going to get into some of those people during this series. But let's start with the vision and why you write the vision down. So your vision can be anything. Whatever is placed down on the inside of you, you'll know for sure what it is that you're called to do. It's like a nagging and urging, something you cannot get away from. And once you get that, once you have that revelation, once it's revealed to you what the vision for your life is, then it's time to move forward. How do you move forward? Let me tell you, it ain't easy. I walked into 2020 and God had given me a vision. And he had given me this vision a while ago, but out of just fear and just didn't want to do it. That's just being honest, just didn't want to do it. I didn't really pursue it. I pushed it off on others. So what I did was try to push my vision off, what was given to me, and develop it through others, because I liked the background and I was just so uncertain and I wasn't encouraged. And then 2020 rolled in and I didn't have a choice but to look at me. I'll tell you what 2020 did. 2020 sat a lot of people down and we were stuck with ourselves and our own inner monologue. I don't like she talked too much. My inner monologue, she's annoying and she's a nag. Lord, I hope I'm not like that. Maybe I am. I think my children feel like that, but that's a whole nother story. But my inner monologue, that small, still voice just stayed at me. And I was just like, Lord, is this really what you want me to do? I'm so unsure. And he has a way of making you sure. And I'm like, okay, but how? I don't have the means to do X, Y, Z. And this is what I have right now in the moment. And that's not going to be effective for that. And I found a million reasons why I couldn't, but none as to why I could. And then I decided to write it down. I write a lot, which is why I wrote a journal to go with the book, because I write a lot. And writing down the vision helped so much, because then I could see it. And I wrote it all down and I'm like, oh wow, this is what this could be. And then I could imagine it. And then it just took form, and it grew, and it grew legs, and it started to walk. It started to crawl, then it started to walk, and then it started to run. And here we are today. I have published 2 books. She Emerged: The Manifestation of Me, and She Emerged: The Guided Journal, both available on Amazon and a few other platforms. I have this video blog. I have my podcast, and it's growing. People are listening. It's effective. If only one person hears your testimony, it was effective. So my vision was, the vision that was given to me was to share my testimony, to encourage and empower other women who have survived the things that I have survived, to help people go from trauma to triumph. That's a lot. I felt very exposed and very vulnerable. And there were things that I knew I needed to say that I didn't want to say because I did not want the backlash. I didn't want to have to answer to anybody, family, friends, people looking at me with the side eye like, did you really just put that business out there? I did. I did because it needed to be said for my own healing and to help somebody else heal. And I had to be obedient to that vision because I was not going to be satisfied on the inside until I did. I was restless. There were things, my career wasn't, and nothing was satisfying me because I was running away from what I should have been doing. And once I got in alignment with it and was accepting of it and realized that no, my voice is not for everyone, but for the ones that it's for, they'll hear me and it will make a difference. And I began to move, and I wrote, and I began to move, and slowly but surely the vision is growing and it's coming to fruition. I'm 3 years into my She Emerged, 4 years into my She Emerged conference. Well, my She conference, because it just got to the Emerged, just was added on, which is an awesome brunch and vision board workshop. I'm not sure what 2022 is going to look like for that because of the pandemic. And, as a healthcare professional, I do want to put everyone's health and safety first and not put anybody in danger. So I'm still working out how that's going to look. It may not be at its regular scheduled date. We may have to push it back and do something maybe outdoors, but it's growing. And I'm excited from the first one. I'm excited to look at the videos and see the growth of my conference. And that's amazing to see when it starts to unfold and come to fruition, right? So I'm not telling you anything that I haven't done, and I'm not still in the process of doing because I'm still growing. My vision is still growing. It's still expanding. It's still evolving. It's still emerging. She is still emerging. And I just want the same thing for you. So let's talk about vision. So of course, I went to Webster's and I found some really good stuff in here. So the definition of vision in Webster's is the act of or power of seeing. The special sense by which the qualities of an object, such as color, luminosity, shape, and size, constituting its appearance, are perceived. We talked about this on my last podcast, perception versus reception. Perceived through a process in which light rays entering the eye are transformed by the retina into electrical signals, that are transmitted to the brain via the optic nerve. Now that's a lot. Okay? That's a lot. But when I got down to it and really started to look at it and read, into it, it got a little better. It got a lot better. So the other part to that is something seen in a dream, trance, or an ecstasy state. It could be a supernatural appearance that conveys a revelation, a thought, concept, or object formed by the imagination, a manifestation to the senses of something immaterial, right? The act or power of imagination, mode of seeing or conceiving, unusual discernment or foresight, a person of vision, a direct mystical awareness of the supernatural, usually in visible form, something seen, a lovely or charming sight, right? So then it goes on, and I was like, okay, so all of that kind of makes sense, right? It made a lot of sense. And then I went down a little further and just read a little more. And as I got into the Webster's definition of vision, I realized that when we receive the vision for our lives, it is exactly the same. The one that stood out the most was the special sense by which the qualities of an object, such as color, luminosity, shape, and size, constituting its appearance, are perceived through a process in which light rays entering the eye are transformed by the retina into electrical signals that are transmitted to the brain via the optic nerve. So we as human beings are visual people. We live in a world that is very much visual. So when you see things, how you perceive them is very much personal. So how you see your vision, how it is transmitted through your eyes, how is going to be how it's reflected out into the world, and how it's also transmitted to your mind, to your brain. So how you see your vision is important. And part of seeing that vision is seeing you. You are the vision. You are the key component to your vision, which is why any great vision starts with you, right? So we write the vision. We write the vision so that we can have a visual representation of our thoughts. And you write it down, and then you're like, you now it's in your face, and you see it, and you're like, ooh, okay, I got to change that. That's not cohesive, because now that it's written down, you can see it sort of functional a little bit, and you're like, it allows you to move things around. But it also encourages you because it starts to breathe life into it. So that's why writing it is very much important, right? So your vision, and when you write it down, when you write down the vision, it becomes like your GPS. So you know how you're trying to get somewhere, and you put it in you write it into your GPS, and you start to have direction. So as you write this thing out, it starts to give you direction as to where you're going and how you're going to get to this finished product. But it'll never be finished. I'm learning that it will still always evolve, but at least to get to something a little bit more tangible. How about that? So the GPS to your vision will be like well thought out, details that align with what you're trying to accomplish and how you would like to accomplish it and what's needed to accomplish it. See, because we can have the vision, you can have the goal in mind, but a lot of times we miss the middle. We skip right over it and just say, especially a lot of us are in a rush. So we skip right over the actual work, the building blocks that are the foundation, right? So when you write it down, that doesn't allow you to do that, because you'll immediately notice as you're reading back what you wrote, because that is important, that something is missing. Something is amiss here. Something is missing. And that will motivate you to go back and keep developing it. Because like us, we evolve, we develop, we grow, we get new skills, and we are constantly under development. The version you get of me today may not be the version that you'll get of me in 2 months, because I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly growing. Well, the same works for your vision. It will constantly evolve. If some of these bigger corporations didn't evolve, didn't add more products, didn't tweak their process to fit the next generation, they would have gone out of business a long time ago, because what appeals to me may not appeal to my children or my children's children. So I have to be prepared and okay with continuous evolution. And writing down your vision allows you the space to do that. So we're going to start here. No vision is too big or too small. Know that. Sometimes people will get in their own way, like, this is mediocre, nobody's going to be interested in that. But that's not true. There is an audience for everything. There's an audience for everyone. And if the vision was given to you, then trust and believe somebody needs it. The way my God works, he doesn't give me anything in vain. He just doesn't do that. If he gives it to you, then there's a need, and you will know that it came from him. You're going to have to sit still for a little bit and pay attention, but you will know. So no vision is ever too big or too small. It doesn't have to be a Microsoft. You can be okay. I'm okay with just being she. It works for me. It's what I was designed to do. And I'm satisfied in that. And, being satisfied in what you do is a key component to being successful at it. So no vision is too big or too small. Don't let fear dissuade you from putting it into action. You get afraid and you're like, nobody, again, nobody's going to like this. Or you're afraid to step outside yourself. You're afraid of the criticism. You can't be crippled by fear in anything. In order for anything to be successful, you're going to have to take some chances. And who better to take a chance on than you? Roll the dice. That's it. Step out on faith and roll the dice. Trust you. Trust the process. Trust that your vision is going to work. And that is one of the biggest components you're going to need in building a firm foundation to launch your vision. Don't let the opinions of others plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Not everybody is going to be receptive to what you're doing for their own reasons. If they just don't believe in it, some people are just cynical. Some people are jealous. And you may think that, well, who am I for somebody to be jealous of? You never know. You never know what people are going through on the inside. They may not even have malicious intent. They're just not going to support it because it's not something that was given to them, or because it wasn't given to them. You cannot trust everybody's opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a trusted circle. I have people that I confide in that are going to hold me accountable and tell me when I'm wrong and give me wise counsel. It is always great to have those kind of people in your corner. But just having random people give their opinion, that's not your business. What other people think about you and what was given to you, it's not your business. That's their business. They don't like to take it up with God or whoever it is they pray to. But it ain't none of my business. Okay? Don't let your current situation discourage you from moving forward. So again, when I started all of this, I'm like, I don't have equipment. I don't have a studio. I had a laundry list of what I couldn't do. And so I was like, how am I going to do this when I don't even have the proper equipment? Because my perception and my reception were off. Because what looked like quality videos and video equipment was just like out of reach. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I have real life bills. I can't just go sinking everything we got into a studio and space and recording equipment and lights and cameras. Who's doing that? Yeah, that's not gonna work. When in fact, it wasn't about what I had in the moment. I actually ended up having more than enough to launch my vision, to launch the vision that was given to me. I just didn't think much of it. And that's the perception and the reception. So I perceived the little things that I had here as not enough, when in fact they were more than enough. And it'll be a year in February that I started this journey, that I launched the vision, that I took the leap of faith, and I'm still working with the same equipment that I had in my possession. The only thing new I have is a laptop that I found on sale. But that's it. And I still use my old laptop to record and do things, but I was able to do it with what I had right here in my possession, but I never thought that I could because I couldn't think outside the box. My perception was off. My perception kind of got in the way of my reception. So don't be discouraged about where you are in the moment when you get the vision. So, because once you start to write it and you start to develop it and you start to do your research, a lot of things will become more plain to you and you'll see, thinking outside the box, how you can make it work. When I recorded my first video blog and podcast episode, I recorded it on my laptop with a set of standard headphones that I got from Five and Below with a microphone on them, and a $5 ring light that I got from Five and Below that I'm still using today. It works. It was like a 2-in-1. It held my cell phone and it held my ring light, and I was able to record. And that is how I recorded and published my first ever episode. I edited it with the software that came standard on my computer, the Windows Movie Maker, and uploaded it. That's it. I was able to do it with just those simple things. It literally cost me $10 to record my first episode. Now, has my style of recording and things evolved because I've learned along the way? Absolutely. You may not notice it, but I see the growth in the quality of the videos and the quality of the sound since I first started, because the vision is ever evolving. But you could not have convinced me when I first got the vision that I could have done what I did and launched the vision for $10. But you can. It is possible. You just have to have faith and take a chance on you. People that there are plenty of people who've had visions and started with nothing. We're going to talk about them in another episode, because I really want to know. I found some really interesting people. But for now, let's get back to this. So what your vision should be based on is who you are purposed to be. And when it's given to you, that revelation will also be given to you, because your vision is intricate. It's intertwined in you. It's based on who you are, what you bring to the table, what you can provide, and how you can deliver it. It is personal to you. Your vision is personal to you, just like my vision is personal to me. And it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Your version is personal to you. So it could be a million other people doing something similar. But the unique thing about yours is that you are you. And there is a specific audience for you. So your vision should be based on who you're purposed to be and what you're purposed to do in the future and in the present. Because make no mistake, your present state will play a part in the foundation of your vision. Even if you're still a work in progress. I'm definitely still a work in progress, right? What you're doing in the present, it's a primer for the foundation, the building blocks of what's to be. Something so small as reading up on your area of focus can start the ball rolling on, you developing your vision. Studying the people that have gone before you that have done that. So I studied, I read, I watched YouTube videos, I listened to other podcasts because I needed to know how to speak, how to orate in doing this. I wanted clean sound quality. I wanted great video quality. And so I had to study and watch other people to learn about this new trade, this new craft that I was taking on, this vision that I was launching. And that helped a lot. And I'll say this, don't watch and mimic. Watch and learn, and then put your own spin on it. Make it personal to you. I watched more for skill and again, quality, video quality, sound quality, because I needed to learn how to do that. And there's a lot of information out there that I needed to get in order to properly do this and make it successful. So you want to understand how to do it. So you study. There's a similar blueprint about everything. So take it, put your own spin on it, and make it your own. Create your own blueprint. What your vision is not and should not be based on is what you don't have, which we discussed, what you do have, finances or otherwise, your station in your present life, and or your level of understanding. Your vision should not be based on these things because all of those things can be worked through. What you don't have, you can be blessed with, you can work for, you can acquire. What you do have can be used in if you think outside the box. Your station in your present life. I'm a nurse by trade. I've been in healthcare for over 20 years in every level. None of that would dictate to anybody else that I would be doing this, that this would be something I would be called to do. So if I based my vision on my station, I wouldn't be doing this. And my level of understanding, again, something that can be improved. I didn't really understand it. So I went and I studied and I learned and I took the time and I'm still studying and I'm still learning because again, this vision has to evolve. So I found this quote by Bernard Haynes and it says, without a written vision and a plan to achieve it, you will never live to your full potential. That's a lot, right? That says a lot. And for me, the benefits of writing it down, which is why I like that quote, because there are benefits to writing down your vision. It helps you clarify your life's direction. Because now you got this vision. And so you have to figure out what needs to change in you in order for it to work. So I was self-conscious. I'm an introverted extrovert. I can conversate, but I'm a loner. I like to be by myself a lot. And so that was something I had to work on because now I am speaking to and presenting myself to a whole other audience. That's a lot. And there are times when I may have to engage with other people and I have to be okay with that. So there were some hurdles that I had to overcome, some things that I needed to resolve. I needed to work on some old wounds. So launching this vision wasn't just about launching the vision. It was my evolution. It was healing. It helped me to see me and see the areas that I needed to work on and direction for my life. And also how I needed to get there. So what I needed to do to get there, I could see that plainly and some things to expect along the way. So I knew that it wouldn't be all great. As I wrote this thing down and I started to develop it, again, I got to see me. I got to see what I needed to do to get there. And I was able to see what may come up along the way. So, as this platform grows, you may need to expand. You may need new software. As this shifts and changes, you may need to be able to do a little bit of graphic design from time to time, unless you can afford to outsource. So that allowed me to also see what may come along the way. And there were also some things that I wrote down to avoid, that although nothing is guaranteed, a well thought out plan of action can provide some foresight into events to come. And like a GPS, having a plan can make the road ahead a little easier to navigate. Because who doesn't like navigation? Me and my GPS, we homies. That's what I do. I get lost a lot, and I've lived here a long time. But I like back roads, and so I tend to take a lot of wrong turns. And my husband laughs at me all the time because my gas meter was always on E. Yep, I'm that girl. I wait till the last minute. So writing it down can also empower you. Because again, as I said before, once the vision is given and revealed to you, the details come to life to and through you. So again, you're looking at this thing on paper. And for me, it was exciting. Like, oh my goodness, this is possible. This is possible. And I got excited every time I was able to check one of those things off the list. You can decide what works best for your vision. It is personal to you. So once you develop this vision, it's yours. You're not under the thumb of somebody else. Now, if you choose a mentor, they're there to lightly guide you, but it's still yours. It is personal to you. You own this thing. You have full creative control. Like a coach that writes down, their playbook, or an architect that draws a blueprint. Total creative control is yours. You design this. You set the tone for how it's going to work and how it's going to play out. And guess what? Who knows? Your blueprint just might benefit somebody else. And you'll be able to inspire and motivate yourself. The possibilities are exciting and they bring hope. So, if you're having a moment, just reading out your vision can help you to be hopeful. As you evolve, so will your vision, and it'll keep motivating you. So, now we balance the scale. So when you have a visual detailed representation of anything, it allows you to see clearly. Imbalances will start to stand out to you, and it'll make it having it written will make it easier to correct and balance those out. You'll be able to see where you are clearly and the distance and difference in where you're going. Seeing you is always going to be important in your vision. And what I'm sharing with you now is why you should write it out. There are things that will help you create a plan to have a cohesive balance. But seeing them, because we are visual people, stimulates you to actually act on it. And it allows you to say yes to what really matters and no to what doesn't. And understand why. Because I had a lot of things written down, but as I wrote them down and I went through them, certain things just didn't fit. And so I had to say no. And no, this is not going to work because it didn't fit. It threw off the balance of what I was trying to get to and what I was trying to create. It'll help to clarify your identity, because a lot of times you don't really know. We are still learning who we are. But once you learn your purpose and your vision, because your vision is tied to your purpose, then you get it. Like it'll become clearer. And again, your identity will evolve with you. A lot of us don't see ourselves as great. I don't see myself as some great person. I'm an ordinary girl who attempted to do an extraordinary thing. And that's the way I look at myself. In order to truly have, to launch any vision, you must fine tune the key component. And that's you. Writing out your vision positions you to see yourself and make some important upgrades, a mental tune-up, so to speak. And it could be used from time to time. We all need a mental tune-up. Sometimes we just need it. We get run down. We get stuck in the routine of life, and we forget that anything is possible. Especially once you hit like adulthood, you start being a mom, and a wife, and an employee, and your career. We don't dream, and we don't dream big. We tend to dream, and our dreams tend to include everybody around us, but they don't really speak to us as a whole person, because we have included everything and everybody around us. And so every now and again, we need that mental tune-up. Whenever you're preparing to walk into something new, you have to let some old things go, internally and externally. Okay? Healing is going to be important. And so launching the vision helps you heal. But make no mistake, those things you heal from, that present situation is going to help you in your vision. I found that out. A CEO didn't get to where they are by not working on their own personal growth, because as your vision evolves, you're going to have to evolve with it, or it's going to outgrow you. And we don't want that. You want to grow with the vision. You are the vision. Let's be clear. You are the vision. It originates and lives with you and in you. Knowing where you are will help you know where you need to go. And by placing your vision against the backdrop of your current reality. Okay, hear me. Current reality. So you're looking at, my backdrop is my past. I am the vision that I'm launching, this new me, this new person. And although they are in contrast, they also complement, because the past helped create this platform. It was my past, my testimony, that helped me to get to you. And being honest about who you are in this moment and who you need to be in order for the vision to come to life will motivate you to do the work and to get there. Okay. So, who better to inspire you but you? You are always your biggest competition. So the goal of this conversation was to express to you why writing your vision down is important for launching the vision, and how many ways it can help you. Writing that vision down will motivate you and excite you, because you get to see it. You get to see it. It's the first step into breathing life into it. But it will also help you see you. So there'll be some personal growth there. It'll be easier for you to create and build and strategize about the foundation by which you launch and build that vision on, so that it will be a firm foundation and there'll be some longevity in it. Okay. So we're healing. We're building firm foundations. We are sowing into ourselves, and we are launching the vision. So that is why it's important to write your vision down. And I'm going to stop right there. And in our next episode, we'll go further into developing the vision. So take away, strategize, educate yourself, see yourself, launch the vision. We're going to write it all down, develop it, and then we'll move into the next stages of launching the vision. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that you took something from this. Listen, replay it, take notes. It is important. I'm excited for what 2022 is going to bring. And I want all of my sisters to be launching the vision in 2022. I want to see it. I'm excited for you. I'm cheering for you. I want us to walk into 2022 strong, changing lives, making strides, breaking generational curses, creating generational wealth, healing from generational trauma. I want us to be the best versions of ourselves. And I am on this journey with you. So let's do it. Let's heal and let's emerge together. Here's to launching your vision, sis. You are loved. You are worthy. You are worth it. You are capable. As always, the sun rises and sets alone every day, but still manages to shine. The moon rises alone every night and still manages to light someone's way. Be the light. I need you to be your own version of the light. You can get my book. It's available on Amazon. My first written work, She Emerged, The Manifestation of Me. It is available on my website, www.savedhealedenough.com. It's also available at a couple of other bookstores. I don't have the list in front of me, but you can go to my website, and everything is there. All the information you need is there to purchase. You can either purchase your signed copy there, or again, just look up She Emerged on Amazon, and both the book and the guided journal are available. Thank you for watching. I can't wait until next time. This conversation is going to be good. You guys have a blessed day. Launch
Reaping season, and I shall reap the harvest of my labor as promised. I have been called. I am a willing vessel.